Good afternoon. I would like to present Blue Waste Renewable. This is a Nordic space, so we are a range of expertise and people. So then is Lady Lagos with expertise in aquaculture. I come from Norway. Well, we have Thomas with business aquaculture from far away island, but it's Faroe Island. And then we have Vahid from Sweden with expertise in biorefinery. So what the best is to get the expertise of all of us. So we got the challenge that all of you know. So how can we coexist in a Nordic Ocean space? So then I want you to visualize you are in a small village in the north of Norway. So this is Hitra. So what you want is to coexist harmony. So then you want transparent waters, but at the same time you want to develop your business, isn't it, to make it profitable. So how can we do that? So as our previous team presented, so we have many oil platforms by the coast of Norway, and Hitra is very close to Trondheim. So you can see one of the biggest field is Ormenlange. So we have quite a huge oil platform there. So what we thought is like, can we coexist actually? Which other industry share this space? And the other one is aquaculture. So then we will focus in two main challenges. One is how to reuse these oil platforms. What can we do with them so we can get the best of the infrastructure that is already there? And the second is the sludge. So aquaculture is one of the main economic activities that we have in Norway and in many other Nordic countries, but they have a very huge environmental impact. And that is what is the uneaten fish and the fishes that go to the bottom of the sea. So now Thomas will explain you a little bit what is our idea, how to solve these two main challenges.
Thank you very much. So we will be focusing on the aquaculture side of things because we want to partner up with an energy company. And their incentive here is that the decommissioning cost of the North Sea will be more than $50 billion. So they have incentives to work with us. So what we're suggesting is that we will renovate an oil rig outside of Hydra, where our partner will build windmills on top. We will install seaweed installations. And underneath here, there is a submersible salmon farming pen. We've calculated that the average sized oil rig in Norway will fit 5 of these pens, which is equivalent to 5,000 tons of salmon production. We will build a hatchery, which is this, on land to supply it with juveniles, and we will build a biorefinery to use the sludge and the waste from the nursery and the grow out to produce energy and protein, which Vahid will go into more detail about. Important to note that the submersible pens that we want to build will have a sludge capture at the bottom of the pens. We estimate that this will be about 8,000 tons of sludge produced in an offshore location, which is why we've built a drying facility on top of the platform here, which can actually reduce that volume down to 350 tons. So the logistics of this is actually quite realistic. That's the aquaculture side of things.
Thank you so much. Here is the, we can say that's a core of concept about circular bioeconomy by use of microorganism and fermentation. That's we can call them biocatalysts. That's the sludge that's caused the problem and is the output of the aquaculture activities. Here is the input and the valuable input for microorganisms that can be anaerobic and aerobic digestion, and they can give us the best different kind of products from compost, single cell protein, biomass, fish feed, food additives, food, and according to the legislation that's not allowed now, but for future. And anaerobic, that's this aerobic products can be returned to the aquaculture, for example, fish. And anaerobic digestion products are hydrogen, volatile fatty acid, biogas, and this part is for energy production that also can produce energy for 250 house for electricity and 2,000 house for heat. And we reached the goals of the United Nations sustainability.
Awesome! Yes! Before the time. Well done. The floor is yours. Who would like to start?
So this biorefinery will be in the offshore, or it will be in that small town? Where will this be a part of this?
Both of them is possible, but we in this concept the facility in the inland
Okay.
because its potential to collect the waste from aquaculture,
Right.
inland aquaculture, and other waste stream wastewater from fish processing, and also the municipality waste can goes there and it's bad. But it's possible to.
Yeah, just quickly, there will also be some pre-treatment on the platform to dry the sludge so that
Yeah.
it's cheaper to transport.
Have you guys thought about the criticism around these kind of net-based growing of farmed salmon getting into the wild and polluting the wild environment, the environmental cost of doing this? One of the biggest challenges that is now, at least in the debate in Iceland, is that.
You mean the escapes?
Yeah.
That's the reason why the second phase of our idea is to use closed containment system. These ideas are already proven, like fish globe or this ovum. So then we were thinking that's the reason why it's represented as a cap. So then we have the capacity to recollect the sludge, but also to avoid escapes. And then we have full control of environmental conditions so they have a better welfare as well for the fish.
So do you have to make the cups, like you have to design the cups in order for, like, or does something like that already exist?
It's already existing, and there are models they are testing. There are 3 different models. So then, I guess, but when we get the money to develop this, we have the best
And
technology.
how do you bring the raw materials back and forth, or the final products? Like, is it just by ships, or?
Yeah, so we're thinking that we will need about 6,000 tons of feed per year for our salmon. So they will sail out, being loaded with feed, coming back, they can then change their cargo to dry matter of the sludge, which is only 350 tons per year. So it's actually much less than what they're bringing out. And it's also important to note that our business model really rests on mitigating the environmental pollution, because we really need to capture that sludge. That's like the bedrock of our company.
Okay.
Also, I can add the hydrogen and biogas also can be used for ferries. That's
How much like the transport?
transportation.
Just quickly, probably one question, because you're keen to use sludge for land in these facilities, but also this project, so it's a super cool concept. Being in aquaculture is like, yeah, we need it. However, your salt content, because it's going to be different from your pens and potentially land-based sources, how are you going to deal with that?
One of the options that we have 2, isn't it? Is either biogas or single-cell protein production. So we were hoping to maybe divide the streams, so either land-based for one of the production and the other one for the next one. We have plenty of microorganisms to grow. For sure, we can find someone that tolerates probably a little bit high salinity. That could be one.
I think somebody has to, by the end of this, somebody has to show me the economics of this, because every solution seems like extremely capital intensive. And you gotta figure out how to make the math work. Because in my head, I'm totally blown, because building this, I think that if you're just gonna make protein, we gotta make a lot of people eat fish.
There's a big demand.
Yeah.
There's a huge
You have
demand.
to create the demand, and the global trend is towards not the other way around. So I'm just thinking out loud, but I think the concept seems.
But the same
Viable.
owner will be land-based, isn't it? We keep a land-based first, we get some money, then probably we can build the offshore.
And Catherine.
And then if you have this, I like this prototype, if you have this offshore multi-use project here, in Norway, at least northern Norway, it's hard to get people to work in aquaculture, to get them there and to make them stay. How can you make people work or attract people to come there and stay there, and how would the shifts be?
They're anticipating the
Yeah,
robot.
but thanks God we have engineers like Henry, so they work in optimization. So then we hope to have 100% automatic feeding and everything controlled. So we need less days on the platform, but the same way they work the oil platforms, and still we need people on offshore.
Yeah.
also for a harsh condition. In another idea is that they have these facilities in a small scale in top of this. And so in a smaller scale, like set tanks that can produce the amount of energy that's needed for example, 10% wants to live in it.
Ada?
Yeah, one question in terms of the sludge, is something being done with it similar to this today? So it's not like something some new.
In sludge from farming today,
Yeah.
mostly is not used. If you're in the ocean, then it's mostly just taken by the water currents. If you're land-based, most companies just put it into the sea or put it into nature. I think processing facilities do use their sludge.
I think we'd add to that, I have worked at a facility where we utilised our sludge, spoilt feed and processing waste to generate biogas, and we could run our protein skimmers off it, so you can get really nice circularity if you can solve the salinity issue. And drying takes a bit of energy, but it's a concept that's been proven small scale, but there's a big need for large scale. But like you said, nobody's really capturing any waste in the cage culture, and that's where a lot of the criticism comes from, and pollution, so it's a nice concept.
This picture is actually from the Faroe Islands. This is Bakkafrost biorefinery facility. So the numbers that Wahid mentioned are actually their actual numbers.
Okay.
So that's a good example of it.
We can add just one more question, and it goes to your idea as well. I mean, what's the conversation or like the debate on refining oil rigs like this? Are people generally for it, or is it more like thought of as something that people just want to dismantle and not have near their shores or wherever?
You mean whether to decommission them or?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we're there yet in the public debate. People are starting to talk about it because it will have to happen the next 10 to 20 years, and the cost looks to be huge in the billions of dollars. So we're trying to be proactive and come up with solutions as the debate starts.
Thank you. Awesome. Congratulations.